shoot, 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 shoot. Hey, hey. Play it again. Play it again. Play it again.
And turn on your mic. Everything's good. All right. Lights, camera, action.
Good morning, Carolina. Live from the Cumulus Broadcast Center here in Fayetteville. This is News Talk 640 WFNC and 103.5 HD2. I want to welcome you to the first hour of Good Morning Fayetteville. You can tell it's first hour because we weren't ready. It's Monday. Today is March the 2nd, day before the primary election. Have you voted, Kenny?
No, I save it for voting day.
You voted for okay, that's fine. No, you're not late. You're right on time. Hey, it's going to be cloudy today. High temperature 53. Full forecast going to be coming up in just a few seconds. 45 degrees right now across the board. Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, and also in Maxton. Here's your headline news at this hour. The U.S. Central Command says 3 American soldiers were killed and 5 others seriously wounded during Operation Epic Fury. That's the joint military operation against Iran. Now, at least 3 military bases in North Carolina have notified the public of increased security measures because of the operations in Iran. That's including Fort Bragg. A 4-vehicle pileup on Interstate 95 over the weekend in Cumberland County injures 2 people and leaves 1 man dead. Fayetteville Public Works Commission says it's that time of the year for water treatment disinfection, which could make your tap water look, taste, and smell a little bit different. But customers should not panic. The water is still safe. And 4 cadets from Southview High School have earned a place in the 2026 Junior ROTC Leadership and Academic Bowl Championship. We'll have all those stories and more coming your way. But first, local news on CBS 17.
Good morning. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young. 3 Army soldiers are dead and 5 others seriously hurt in this weekend's U.S. attacks on Iran. According to the Associated Press, the 3 who were killed were U.S. Army soldiers deployed to Kuwait as part of a unit which oversees supplies and logistics. On Truth Social, President Trump posted a video where he said, quote, "Sadly, there will likely be more before it ends. That's the way it is, likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case," end quote. Overnight, smoke could be seen billowing out of the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, the result of a missile attack. All Americans in the region are being told to take cover. There are no reports of injuries in this attack. Meanwhile, a weekend shooting spree at a bar in Austin, Texas, is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The accused shooter was wearing clothes with an Iranian flag design and the words "Property of Allah." The concern over retaliatory attacks has led to an increase in security at military installations all around the country, including, of course, Fort Bragg. This includes 100% ID checks, random vehicle inspections, and suspension of the Trusted Traveler program until further notice. This morning, we have also learned members of the National Guard based in Wilmington are deploying to the Middle East. They'll reinforce security and protect U.S. forces and allies in the region, including Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and Qatar. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
Today we'll have cloudy skies, as well as it will be noticeably cooler with a high of only 53. Overnight will be mainly cloudy with a few showers and a low of 44. Tuesday will also be mostly cloudy with a high of 63. Other than the chilly start today, the rest of the week will be warm, with high temperatures even reaching the 70s and 80s later this week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you. 45 right now. That's the number of Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also in Spring Lake. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Good Morning Fayetteville with Gilbert Baez on WFNC.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside
You've been on the whole time. I just want to frame you a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you were like, I saw half of you. If you're watching us on our podcast, on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel, you saw half of Kenny this morning.
And then you saw me throwing a little temper tantrum
Yeah,
about,
'cause
come on, man. What
turn
about
me
my,
on.
What about my close-up?
Oh, here you go. Here's your close-up right here. There you are. Okay, that's enough of you.
Okay, thank
Bring
you.
it
It's
back
your
to-
show.
Nah, because the both of us on here, man. I tell you what, this is deja vu all over again.
In what way?
Just in the Gulf War and the what's going on right now in the Middle East. I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and I tell you what, you know, my heart goes out to the men and women who serve in our armed forces because, and I've said this on several occasions, 1% of Americans lift their hands to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic, but yet we have to take 100% of the responsibility when it comes to war. And so that's where we are right now. I don't know if it's declared war or not, but what's going on in the Middle East is very reminiscent of the things that happened during the first Gulf War, second Gulf War, Somalia, Afghanistan, and all the other things that are happening now. And here we go again. And so here's our guys and gals from Fort Bragg and all the military installations across the country. As you just heard Bill Young say, some units from Wilmington are deploying. And so that will be the case. And when you get to this point, and I've done this in terms of covering the news, it just spirals and continues to have more individuals in order to reinforce those who are there. Not only the combat arms, but also the support. You can't have guys fighting on the front lines if you don't have beans, bombs, and bullets. And so those are supplied by the supply units and sustainment battalions and brigades. And so, you know, my heart is going to go out to you in our prayers, I'm sure, in this community, more than any other community, is going to bear a brunt of what's happening in the Middle East right now. And we always do. And so God protect our men and women who have to deploy. Now, I don't want to get into a big old thing here about it, but, when I saw it happening, I said, I know what this means. As a matter of fact, I remember the time when 9/11 happened. I don't know, where were you when 9/11 happened?
I'll never forget. I was getting ready for work. I worked at a radio station in Charlotte. I didn't have to be there till 9 a.m. in the role that I played. And when I saw what was going on, I think it was around early 7 a.m., I, just like everybody else, just sitting there, total disbelief, watching the television. And then I called my boss once I realized, whoa, this is, and Jack Daniel, my boss, said, nothing we can do. All we're doing is piping in the television feed from the national news. I think it was ABC. No, it was NBC. Anyway, that's what they did. And so all of the stations for this big corporation, it was not Cumulus, but all of the stations just fed the national news to everybody on all their stations.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you'll never forget where you were. It was well, good. You have more on where you were.
Because I was in Charlotte, the Queen City, lots of airport traffic, and I could see the airport landing patterns from my house, especially at night. You could see them, but that's what struck me when I went into work that morning. Nothing in the sky. I mean, this is Charlotte Douglas International Airport, and you don't see a thing in the sky.
Well, I remember very distinctly being at the house, and I was working. I believe I was working for WREL at the time, and I don't know which station I was working for, but I know this: I was at the house, and I was brushing my teeth, and then I heard this commotion on the news, and I went out to the TV. And I'm looking at the Twin Towers. I'm brushing my teeth. And all of a sudden, an airplane crashes into one of the towers. I think it was the second plane. And I thought this was a commercial. What is this? This can't be real. And it was real. And then when I realized it, I said, I didn't say, oh, my God. I said something else. I said, oh, with the S word. And I immediately jumped into action to get my clothes on quicker because I knew what that was going to mean for Fort Bragg. And I was right. The gates went on like 100% security check. I mean, every vehicle that was getting in was being checked all over. And so the lines for everyone to get on post stretched out into Spring Lake. I mean, you had people cars were overheating. I mean, it was just a very lengthy thing because you had an immediate alert. Everybody has to come in, but everybody just can't get in fast. And so it was one of those type things. I was on post Friday night, I went up and I was in one lane getting ready to go through, and all of a sudden the X went up. Instead of green, it was X. And so I noticed that on a couple of different entry points at the main entry point at off Owen Drive going in.
Right.
And they were clearly stepping up security just even before then. And so if anything didn't seem right, they were checking it out. And so here we are right now. If you have to go on post, you better expect some delays. But hopefully we're going to get through this one okay. Speaking of which, let me read you what I have here in terms of the latest operation here. U.S. Central Command said Sunday that 3 American service members were killed and 5 others were seriously wounded during Operation Epic Fury. That's the joint U.S.-Israel military operation against Iran. Military leaders from CENTCOM said on social media on a post that they made that several others sustained minor injuries and are in the process of returning to duty. Now, CBS News has learned that 3 casualties occurred among American personnel based in Kuwait at Camp Bahrain in the northwestern Kuwait, in an area for deployment that's used for the deployment of U.S. troops by Central Command. That is a place, Kenny, that I've been to Bahrain. As a matter of fact, Bill Harcum and I, my photographer, have been to the Middle East so many times and been to Kuwait. We knew the streets by name, and we just rent a car and we would drive around.
Is that right?
Yeah, and you would see Dan Rather. I guess we had to be with CBS because I went with Dan Rather over there. The 3 pillars in Kuwait, kind of like in the backdrop, there are these spheres that you'd always see, and we were on top of the International Hotel, and that's the backdrop that you would see from the reporters as we reported.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All the journalists seem to be like on
Same
top
spot.
of this. Okay, and you could oversee the city kind of?
Yeah, exactly. You can see it. And the thing was, CNN had the satellite hookup, and so everybody had to climb up onto the roof. We went through to the top floor, and then we climbed onto the roof in order to get in front of our cameras, and we had to be up at 2 in the morning so that we could be live at 6 because of the time difference.
Right.
So in any event, Associated Press also reported that the U.S. service members killed in the operation targeting Iran were soldiers, and they wrote that as Army soldiers. Well, it's just soldiers. I mean, we're armies. You don't find soldiers in the Marines. Anyway, they're soldiers. They were deployed to Kuwait as part of the unit that oversees supplies and logistics. Now, I was talking about that.
Yes, sir.
But you can't have soldiers on the front lines without having some support. So this involves an awful lot of folks. Communicators, 35th Signal. I'm not sure who's deployed. I'm not saying who's deployed because I don't know. But once this stuff starts hitting the fan, you got to call in the reinforcements to make sure those soldiers who are out on the front lines have support. And we don't even know if there's any boots on the ground yet. All we do know is that those who are operating in the area need support. I don't care if it's aircraft, drones, or whatever it is. All those personnel who are providing some type of activity, military activity, need support. So the sustainment brigades are going to be out there. The military's initial statement did not give any other details about the circumstances on the U.S. casualties. They normally wait 24 hours before they name those who were killed in action. And we're told major combat operations continue. The effort and response effort is ongoing. Now, with that in mind, at least 3 military bases in North Carolina have identified and notified the public of increased security measures because of operations in Iran. The FBI director said on Saturday they ordered counterterrorism and intelligence teams in the U.S. on high alert. On Sunday, commanders of the military in the United States ordered higher security checks for domestic bases and posts. Because of the ongoing operation in the Middle East, the commander of the U.S. Northern Command has directed all installations to implement heightened security measures at all entry gates until further notice. Camp Lejeune, near North Carolina's coast, is the home of the Marine Expeditionary Forces and Readiness. Nearby Marine Corps at the Air Station, New River Air Station, made the same announcement. We're told Fort Bragg and Seymour Johnson Air Force Base also have stepped up security at their gates as well. In other news this morning, a 4-vehicle pileup on Interstate 95 injures 2 people and leaves 1 man dead. It happened around 2 in the morning Saturday in the northbound lane near mile marker 63. That's just outside of Fayetteville in Cumberland County. According to the State Highway Patrol, the crash involved a pickup truck, a chartered bus, an Amazon van, an SUV, and an 18-wheeler. We're told 19-year-old Dawson Adams, the driver of the pickup truck, was taken to Fair Valley Medical Center. He died from his injuries. Investigators say a Ford Explorer and a GMC pickup truck were disabled on the highway from an earlier collision. A chartered bus carrying 40 people crashed into the already stopped Explorer and GMC pickup truck. Then you had a tractor-trailer crash into that pileup. We're told 2 others in that part of the crash taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Finally, this morning, Fayetteville's Public Works Commission says it's time for the annual water treatment disinfectant, which began yesterday. PwC says if your tap water looks, tastes, and smells a bit different, customers should not panic. The water is still safe to drink. PwC says the fire hydrants are going to be flushed, and that could cause temporary low pressure or mild discoloration that might occur during the changeover period. And these conditions are cosmetic. They'll go away after the system is flushed. Changeover is going to end on April 1st. All right, that's what I got this morning. Kenny, let's see the local forecast from CBS meteorologist Rachel Dunson.
Today we'll have cloudy skies, as well as it will be noticeably cooler with a high of only 53. Overnight will be mainly cloudy with a few showers and a low of 44. Tuesday will also be mostly cloudy with a high of 63. Other than the chilly start today, the rest of the week will be warm, with high temperatures even reaching the 70s and 80s later this week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Right now, we've got 45 degrees across the board in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also in Pembroke. You're listening to News Talk 640. We're WFNC.
Always first in News Talk for North Carolina. News Talk 640 WFNC. Now in high def at 103.5 HD2.
1, 2, 3, and
Step up for health and step out into your community at Cape Fear Valley Health Foundation's Step Up for Health and Wellness Expo, Saturday, March 28th, hosted by Methodist University and presented by Cumulus Media. This family-friendly event will feature a 4K and 1-mile walking routes through Methodist University campus. The Wellness Expo will include health checks, food vendors, face painting, EMS truck tours, and more. Register today at cfvfoundation.org.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599. 800-780-3599.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'm Don Brown, Navy veteran and former prosecutor. The political establishment is pouring millions into the Senate race to control your vote. But North Carolina doesn't take orders from party bosses. I'm running to defend secure elections, the rule of law, medical freedom, and conservative values. They can spend millions, but they can't outvote you. Early voting is underway. Vote Don Brown for U.S. Senate. I'm Don Brown, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Don Brown for U.S. Senate.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Baez. On WFNC. News Talk 640 AM and now at 103.5 HD2. Your information crossroads. WFNC.
Jackie Wilson with your band self.
Keep it up, quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. You know your love, keep on lifting me higher.
You know what? You know what's neat about this song?
Tell me.
I've got the video of it, and it's one of those hologram videos where he's actually dancing to this song. It is just fantastic. He's singing to himself. So there's two Jackie Wilsons on the video going back and forth. Every time I played that at a club, it's just fantastic.
So it's the hologram versus the actual footage from the old days?
No, it's two. They hologrammed him twice.
Really?
Yes.
Meaning that it was a made-up...
Yeah, it's got the... we're going to get to the point where you can go to a concert and see Michael Jackson, where he's up. But we've already seen it.
Yeah.
I saw Tupac come, with... who was it? Who was he with? He was with Snoop.
Yeah.
In a hologram. And he came out the middle of the stage. The crowd went crazy.
And I haven't been to the Sphere, but, when that stuff starts happening at the Sphere, it's going to be amazing.
Well, look, if you go to the movies right now, you can see The Wizard of Oz in one of those big surround things. Have you seen that? Where when the wind starts blowing, you feel it in the audience. And the apples, they the scene where the apple trees starts throwing the apples at each other. The apples drop out of the ceiling onto, folks, this little foam apple things. That says, I've been to the surround theater. Or whatever.
They land in your popcorn right there.
They sort of knock your drink over or whatever. But can't we just go to... Everything is real life. You have to feel it to experience it, which is pretty cool. So I don't know where one of those theaters are locally. I'm sure somebody's listening, and they will text us and tell us. You can go to one in Charlotte, something like that.
Well, actually, speaking of Charlotte, I had a chance back in the old days, and I know we got a lot to do. But anyway, remember the movie Twister, the one where the cow goes flying through the air?
Yes.
Well, that was a big deal that summer. And so they brought in this big trailer that has the wind turbines. Mm-hmm. And so basically they had us hold on to a rail. They'd fire up those turbines, much like we have like something, a sky jump or something around here.
Yeah, up on Rayford Road, right.
Yeah, and the wind blows you. And so, we were actually horizontal. We were horizontal, and then they set up all this rain and everything, just like flying at you to where it almost hurt. And then they had these little things, just for effects, flying by you. They were controlled, but it was pretty exciting. It was like you were in a Twister.
Were you strapped in? Because you were on your own hands?
Yeah.
Did you sign a release?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
And you did that without a harness?
Well, I'm sure it wasn't that dangerous. It was enough for me to... No, it was good.
Okay.
I don't remember the details. This was 25 years ago when Twister came out? Yeah. I just remember the experience of hanging on for dear life. But you're right. The theaters that we see now and everything, it's not like we used to go to. During Indiana Jones at the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, it's not like the theaters we used to go to because you could get a drink, a hot dog, and a thing, and not have to worry about your mortgage. So, but in any event, I digress. All right, hey, we got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about today, and did I give you the list of who's coming?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, we got some interesting stories here. First of all, our good friend Jeff Thompson is going to be here. He normally comes the first of the month, and the first was yesterday, and he was in here wondering where we were. I said, Jeff, it was Sunday. No, he didn't come in. But we did talk yesterday. I wanted to make sure he was going to be able to stay on and talk about things. He talks about what you should be doing with your lawn and garden this time of the year. And I actually brought my herbicide and my insecticide in to show him that I'm near the end of it, and I've been doing it because you kind of do it once a month. If you ever see like the True Green guys and all the folks coming around, all of a sudden they're in January putting something down, and you don't know why are they putting anything down? Well, you got to put your stuff that keeps the stuff from growing up. Pre-emergent is what it's called. And then once, I put some down, but I still had some stuff come up. So it's too late to put a pre-emergent down if you got weeds coming up. So now you got to kill the weeds that's on the top. So anyway, I'm not going to do his whole story. Jeff will be here. He'll give us the spiel on that. Then we've got this horrific story. 8:20. Deanna Janez is going to call in. We're going to talk to her. Her father is Stephen Ward, and he died of a heart attack while driving his 18-wheeler. And he managed to get the 18-wheeler off the road without hitting anybody else, and went into a wooded area kind of, and had a heart attack and died at the scene. And so now the family is left with this $9,000 towing bill to try to get the truck back from the towing company. I think the total was $18,000 to get the truck and the trailer out. the company that owned the trailer has paid their $9,000 to get the trailer, but Mr. Ward owned the tractor itself. And so now the tractor is at the towing company with $125 a day, storage fee, and the family is struggling. Anyway, we're gonna call Deanna and we're gonna talk to him about the situation. They have family here in Fayetteville as well, and that's the connection. The actual accident happened in New Hanover County, but we're going to talk to them about where they are in their quest to get this truck back that their father owned, and he died with a heart attack. Then at 8:35, we've got the Military Affairs Council. MAC they have a new chairman. He just happens to be Robert Patton. He comes in here on occasion to talk about different things, and they are really active in the community, providing a lot of events. And so there's some new events that are going to be coming up, and Robert is going to come in here and talk about those events. All right, that brings us to In My Heart This Morning, 100 Days of Encouragement by Janet Gibson with photography by Cindy Burnham. And this is day number 95, man. We just got 1 week to go, and that's going to be it. Going to put the book on the shelf, even though Doris has probably read it 3 times. That'd be my wife. And this is a long one, and it is a good one. Wonder what would happen if everyone wrote a single thank you note today, not a text, email, or verbal acknowledgement, but an authentic, heartfelt, old-school, handwritten thank you note to a parent, significant other, child, sibling, mentor, friend, to someone who was kind to you with no thought of anything in return. There's no feeling quite like receiving a handwritten thank you note or card, in part because it's so rare and unexpected in our hurry-up world. One note, written with beautiful intention, could set off an avalanche of gratitude. That's beyond powerful. What parts of that would you like to highlight, Kenny?
Well, it's pretty much everything. Authentic, heartfelt, old school, handwritten, just something like that doesn't say, oh, yeah, I'm thinking about you, here's an email. I mean,
no, that's right.
That says something, It means you really do mean it. It could set off an avalanche of gratitude. Who knows? That can make somebody so happy that day that they spread the love all day long. And I want to point out that I'm a real big believer in writing something, and I'm not bragging about myself, but you'll see this little card. It's a thank you card, I guess. It says, I am such a fan of you. And it comes with a little envelope. I found these. I hate shopping because I find things and spend too much money. But like little cards that you can find like this, no big deal. It's not a big card, just a little note. Thank you.
Well, whenever I receive one from someone, I would say, wow, they took the time. I think that's it. I try to tell my kids, don't text me. At least call me, But, I'm going to say this about texting. I can see how you get hooked on it because you can continue your day while you're doing whatever else you're doing and still get the messages across.
It's a good point. I'll take a text.
Well, look, I was DJing at the club last night and coordinated an appearance on the show while someone texted me, and I was in the middle of doing the Master Super Mix. The floor was packed. I don't know. I said, wait a minute, who's this? Y'all stay on the floor there. Keep on going. I got to answer this text. Well, I didn't say that, but that's
somebody for the radio show.
Yes, but it's good. It's a good show too. As a matter of fact, the Woodpeckers are having a softball tournament this weekend, and Brian Knight was the one who texted me. I said, "Hey, Brian, I'm DJing right now. I'll get back with you tomorrow. Thank you for what you did." That's me texting.
Nice sound effects.
Yeah. So he's got that note. I'll call him later on today, and we'll get him in here to talk about the tournament. It's a softball tournament at Sigler Stadium. Woodpeckers putting it on, so we always want to let you know what's happening in the community. Speaking of which, the WFNC official golf team is going to be involved in a couple of the golf tournaments. We're going to be in the 3rd annual Rayford Hoke Chamber Golf Tournament. That's on April 24th, so we got a little time for that. But I checked with my golfers. They're ready to go. Got to make up some new shirts. We got to have something new for that one. But the one I want to talk about is the Aiden Alfaro Golf Tournament that is going to be taking place at Cypress Lakes Golf Course. $100,000 gold, $1,000 team banner for the holes if you want to sponsor it. $750 is the silver sponsor. You get a banner and whole sponsorship. $500, that's the bronze sponsorship. You get a team and a whole sponsor. Oh, and Cumulus, we're apparently involved with this. I don't know what level we are, but I'm glad that we're going to be involved with it. March 20th, that means we get to put a team in there. March 20th, registration is going to start at 9 in the morning. I was talking with John Smith. Again, I was texting. This morning. I was putting the news together, and I actually texted him my superior team that's going to win the whole thing.
I see. So were you texting him with the same sound effects as last night for the same?
Yeah, it was sounding, John. Got the names of the individuals that will be representing Cumulus.
Send.
Right, send. And then this is what it sounded like for him. He just sent me a heart. Anyway, March 20th. They've got 12 more slots there. So I know this one's going to get sold out. We want to shut down the course because if they get all the teams in there, then they close the course down.
Oh.
And then you don't have people just kind of all of a sudden, hey, where are you? You part of the tournament? No, we're just playing through. No. We want to shut this one down. Aiden Alfaro is a second grader. He's 8 years old. He went in for a little test for a hearing infection or something like. Came out diagnosed with leukemia. And so the family is struggling to get this all together, and the community is rallying around him. He is a student at the Freedom Christian Academy here in Fayetteville. So I want to get that right. I had that wrong on the Facebook page. I had to go through all heck to make that correction because I had him down as the Fayetteville Christian Academy. That's not true. It's Freedom Christian Academy is where he attends. And that faculty and staff in this community is rallying around him to help give him some support to help him deal with all the things that he's dealing with. So sign up for that golf tournament if you like. And I've got this information about 4 cadets from Southview High School. They've earned a place in the 2026 Junior ROTC Leadership Academy Bowl. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because right now we've got local news from CBS 17.
Good morning. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young. 3 Army soldiers are dead and 5 others seriously hurt in this weekend's U.S. attacks on Iran. According to the Associated Press, the 3 who were killed were U.S. Army soldiers deployed to Kuwait as part of a unit which oversees supplies and logistics. On Truth Social, President Trump posted a video where he said, quote, "Sadly, there will likely be more before it ends. That's the way it is, likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case," end quote. Overnight, smoke could be seen billowing out of the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait, the result of a missile attack. All Americans in the region are being told to take cover. There are no reports of injuries in this attack. Meanwhile, a weekend shooting spree at a bar in Austin, Texas, is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The accused shooter was wearing clothes with an Iranian flag design and the words, "Property of Allah." The concern over retaliatory attacks has led to an increase in security at military installations all around the country, including, of course, Fort Bragg. This includes 100% ID checks, random vehicle inspections, and suspension of the Trusted Traveler program until further notice. This morning, we have also learned members of the National Guard based in Wilmington are deploying to the Middle East. They'll reinforce security and protect U.S. forces and allies in the region, including Iraq, Syria, Jordan, and Qatar. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Bill Young.
Today we'll have cloudy skies as well as it will be noticeably cooler with a high of only 53. Overnight will be mainly cloudy with a few showers and a low of 44. Tuesday will also be mostly cloudy with a high of 63. Other than the chilly start today, the rest of the week will be warm with high temperatures even reaching the 70s and 80s later this week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, 43 degrees right now in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and Fort Bragg. And you're listening to News Talk 640 for WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
Bringing you all the news and information that matters for 4 decades. News Talk 640 WFNC. Now in high def at 103.5 HD2.
cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AUTO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AUTO for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
I'm Jay Renee, creative director and owner of The Creative Studio by Jay Renee. April 18th, 11 to 2 in Fayetteville, Brunch and Branding is where serious creatives and business owners come to tighten up their brand and move with intention. We're locking in strategy, creating real content, and implementing AI the smart way. You'll enjoy elevated brunch and walk out with same-day content, a professional headshot, and images ready to post. Get in the room. Grab your seat now at IamJayRenee.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Baez on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2.
News Talk 640 WFNC. It's time for our 640 replay at 644. We spoke with John Smith. You're doing got a young man right now that's a second grader who it's been discovered through where he had an ear infection. Now we find out that he actually has leukemia and he's going through some changes. Tell us about him once again, because there's some people just got on board with us, got in their car.
No problem. He's a 8-year-old second grader at Freedom Christian. He went in for what they believe to be a single ear infection. It evolved to a more serious infection, and they were going to put tubes in. So when they started conducting the test to do that, they discovered that he had a form of leukemia, AML. He started treatments. Well, it had mutated to his brain, which caused part of his face to be paralyzed.
Yeah, move a little bit closer to him, right?
Yeah, and so therefore they immediately started some serious chemo treatments. Doctors feel like it is having some positive effect, and they're optimistic. But he'll have to go through a series of those for about 6 to 8 months. And then after that, if that was effective, he'll go to radiation. And hopefully, through prayers and medical intervention, that he'll make a full recovery. If not, he'll have to have bone marrow transplant.
I'm showing these pictures here that you said the mother said we can show. And
absolutely, she approved them all.
So yeah, and you're kind of close to the family. You started missing Aiden on campus, and you're saying, "What's going on? Where's my man?"
Yes.
How's the family taking this? What are they doing? Are they okay?
And I think I'm all right in saying it. It's a single-parent home. Mom has been devastated, obviously so. Her opportunities to work has been cut drastically, and then, on top of the medical expenses piling up.
Is there a GoFundMe page or anything like that?
I do think that somebody on her side of the family, I don't know if it's a family member or a close friend, has started a GoFundMe page out of St. Paul's, and is collecting quite a bit as well.
You know, anybody's ever dealt with any type of illness like this, it just blindsides you. Hopefully you have insurance, and even if you do, all the secondary things that happen, that someone's got to stay at a hospital for an extended period of time, they got to take time off from work. The stuff that insurance might not cover is out there, and so this is when you need the entire village to kind of help a child.
Absolutely, and you know, he's not even my child; he's just my buddy, and it has really set me back and caused an emotional touch in my heart, you know, I can't imagine as a parent going through that.
Before this illness was diagnosed, he was involved with athletics and things like that?
Oh, yeah. He was very active. He was a good soccer player, and he was into sports and that sort of thing.
You know, I've got pictures of him up on it, and if you're joining us on our Facebook page or my YouTube channel, you see pictures of Aiden. He just looks like a real active little guy. Was 8 years old? Is it?
Yes, yeah. He's 8 years old.
Yeah. And so now we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Just want to reiterate the fact that one way you plan to raise some money is taking your beautiful golf swing that you have out there and starting a tournament. Cumulus Media's team is going to be there.
Yeah.
More specifically, the WFNC Good Morning Fayetteville team will be there.
Yes.
And we plan to have a great time out there at Cypress Lakes. Greens and everything pretty good out there.
Yeah, the course is in good shape considering the inclement weather we've had over the past couple of months. Ed Drake, superintendent, is doing a tremendous job of trying to maintain it the best he can during those conditions. But, yes, it'll be at Cypress Lakes Golf Course on Friday, March 20th, 9 o'clock registration, 9:30 shotgun.
If somebody wanted to get involved with it, how can they reach you? What's the best way to do it to register?
Absolutely. They can reach me through my cell number. It's 910-237-3179, or they can email me, jrsmith8789@gmail.com, or they can contact the pro at Cypress Lakes, Robert Wilson, and he will get them in contact with me as well.
Yeah, you know, I was telling you during the break that Robert helped me take that curve out that I had at one point, and he's a pretty good guy. He's the professional out there. He's been out there for some time, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, Robert's an icon for Cypress Lakes. He's a really, really good leader and good person, and when we hold events like this, he is extremely supportive.
Well, again, just flipping through the pictures of Aiden, you see what is a very active kid, and then all of a sudden, bam, boom, bing. The next thing you know, the bottom is taken out of it. And it's one thing for an adult to understand, but it's another thing for a child to end up in a hospital, in a bed, probably not really understanding how come I can't go home.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, to see a kid deteriorate from what he looked like walking the halls of Freedom Christian to the state he's in right now is just mind-boggling and touching all at the same time.
The family says that, what does mom say? How does she explain it to him what's going on?
Well, in talking with Miss Alfaro, she said that he doesn't understand, and he questions it in a lot when never he's feeling the best he can. But, she tries to give him reassurance, and it's going to be okay, as any parent would. And hopefully, with prayers, that, he'll grow strength and have a full recovery.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a couple more pictures of him before we get out of here. Again, we have a golf tournament at Cypress Lake that's going to be taking place. Apparently, there's a GoFundMe fund out there. If you spell his name out so everyone... Do you have
Aiden is Aiden, Alfaro, Alfaro.
Yeah, and I tried to Google this morning to see if some things would pop up under his name, and I didn't see things popping up. But in any event, the event is going to be going on. That's etched in stone. Rain or shine, it never rains on a golf course. What am I talking about?
That's right. That's right.
And the most important thing, you got an awful lot of support. You need some more support from local businesses and things like that?
Yes, sir. I would love to have some more gold, silver, bronze support, and whole sponsors as well. We have different price packages, whatever's within your budget or you feel led to do, and we would definitely make it worth your while.
Well, the neat thing about the golf tournament is the fact that it signals that spring is right around the corner here. We're getting ready for some of this bad weather, and our heart and prayers go out to Aiden. I'll pop him up on the screen a couple more times here as he continues his battle with leukemia. It was a surprise diagnosis when he went in to have some tubes put in his ear, and all of a sudden they found out, hey, we got more here that we got to deal with. And so our prayers are with him and also the family. And John, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for taking the interest in this kid to the extent that you're trying to do this to try to help the family out a little financially.
Absolutely. Any way I can help somebody, I'm willing to do.
All right, John. Hey, you're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got Fayetteville's local news right now with CBS 17. Well, no, we don't. We don't have that. Why did I say that yesterday?
That was yesterday, and I let the tape run too long.
That's okay. Hey, Candy, hey, we were in there busy in the other place.
We've got weather, though, coming up. So
all
there.
right. Well, then, so we've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Today we'll have cloudy skies, as well as it will be noticeably cooler with a high of only 53. Overnight will be mainly cloudy with a few showers and a low of 44. Tuesday will also be mostly cloudy with a high of 63. Other than the chilly start today, the rest of the week will be warm, with high temperatures even reaching the 70s and 80s later this week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Right now, let's see, 43 degrees. That's the number for Fayetteville, Rayford, and also for Olivia. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Don't wait to save. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale ends soon. Their sleep experts are highly trained to find the right bed for your specific needs. Easier search, better rest. Get both today. They make sleep easy.
Fayetteville's local news source. News Talk 640 WFNC in high def.